It's all about just making a routine and making it a habit. I spent a lot of time as a young kid on a farm with my grandfather. I've done it for a week and done hardcore changes, you know. I feel like I haven't even trained. Like I feel just like fresh and just keep pushing myself. The hardest thing I've gone through. And it's very hard to talk about it. It's huge, you know. The moment you tell yourself that you can't do something, that's the moment when you won't do it. Hey guys, my name is Hafthor Bjornsson. I'm the world's strongest man, and I'm 30 years old, weigh 190 kilograms at the moment.
Cool. Where are you from, and like, what is that place like to live?
I'm from Iceland. I live in Kópavogur, which is next to Reykjavik, and for me, it's been a blessing to be in Iceland. You know, I love Iceland. I love our country. It's amazing to live here. We are isolated in this kind of small island, but you know, it's a place where I'm very happy to have been born, and you know, it's yeah, I don't know how to describe it better. You know.
What were the early years growing up in your household? What was that like for you?
It was good. I'm a middle child. I have two sisters, one older, one younger, obviously. And my family is very close family. We spend a lot of time together. This is actually my first year where I'm not gonna spend the Christmas at home with my parents, and I'm 30 years old. That's crazy, right? But that's just how close we are. Yeah, it's weird, but you know, I'm a married man, and my wife is Canadian, and we're gonna spend the Christmas at her family this year.
Do you think there's a certain type of pride in Iceland for their sports?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, you know. For myself, of course, as an athlete, when I was starting in my sport of a strongman, I was, you know, our history in strongman has been very successful, and we are only 350,000 people, and that's quite impressive. We won the World Strongest Man title 9 times. That's insane, to be honest. Been on the podium, I don't even know how many times. And we are only 350,000 people. And in so many other sports as well, we've been super successful. In CrossFit Games, Animist Thorisdóttir, Katrin Tanya, and then we have other girls as well, and even guys that have, you know, won and placed high, top 3, you know. And it's, I don't know what it is, but we have been very successful in sports, even though we are a small culture. And why is that? It's hard to say, you know. Maybe it's the pride, like you say. We're very proud of our country, and we wanna, you know, shine and show the other big nations that we can also be great like them.
It feels like it's almost this small island, very north of the world, and you in terms of the sports you guys take on, it's the strong sports. Like it is like, if any sport you want to dominate and show that you are a contender as a country, strength sports is one of the is the sport.
We are quite good in that, but also we are quite good in handball as well. Handball we're very good at, and then football as well. We did quite well there, you know, and in other sports as well, you know. I want to say.
I mean, it's just amazing to see. Like it is, like you say, is that the population 350,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like a city. And we're a very small city as well. So I think it's 500,000 in our city, and we're one of the smallest in the UK. At what age did you realise it was bigger than like other people, like bigger and taller? Was you always bigger?
I was always tall. You know, I knew at a young age I was always taller than my friends. I remember as a young boy playing outside, you know, maybe 12 years old or something, playing outside with my friends. And there were like older guys teasing me, telling me like, hey, stop playing with the kids. But I was just playing with my friends, same age and everything, but I was just that much taller that it looked like I was probably 2-3 years old, like 2-3 year old older than them. But they didn't see that I was just that more, like, I looked older, you know, I always did. So at a very young age, I knew I was much taller at least. But then when I started to train at the age of, like in the gym at the age of 17, 18, I saw very fast progress. And then I knew that I've actually done, like I always want to say good genes, but I've actually done the test. I've tested myself to see if there's anything special with myself, and there's actually nothing special with myself. I'm just a normal human being. But still, I was able to progress very fast. I don't know why that is, you know, but I was just, I guess, dedication. You know, I was very dedicated from the beginning. You know, I was always trying to get like information on like how can I improve myself in this and this and this and the muscle mass and the strength just loaded on me, you know, this came on fast. Why? I think, you know, discipline.
Before strongman, was there anything that developed you to be sort of disciplined and have like an athletic mindset?
Definitely, good question. Before I did powerlifting and strongman, I actually started to compete a little bit in powerlifting. Then I took a turn and just did strongman. Before all of that, I competed in basketball, and I had some very great coaches, and they definitely had a huge impact on me, and huge impact on my mindset and discipline for sure.
Yeah, for me, when I was playing basketball, like a huge discipline for me. I had a really good coach at the time, and he taught me a lot, especially even for life. Like those young years where you were shaped. Like, was there any lessons they in particular taught you?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the life itself, you know, and you know, I mean, I believe all the small details you do in life disciplines you, you know. For example, I spent a lot of time as a young kid on a farm with my grandfather, and it was hard work, you know. We worked. We woke up, we worked the whole day, and it was like that. You know, all the summers I went to the farm and worked very hard. So that was a discipline, obviously, you know, that disciplined myself to be like a hard worker, and then when the basketball came along, it was the same thing, you know. I had good mentors that helped me to become disciplined, and then when I had to actually work on my own, you know, in the gym, like, yeah, I have a coach, but he is not always there with me. I'm the one that has to do the work. I'm the one that has to eat the food. I'm the one that has to like do all these things. Like, yeah, you can have the best coach in the world, but that doesn't make you a champion. You have to work for yourself.
Love it. That mentality, I want to touch on that mentality for sure. Just reeling it back one more time is like, it sounds really interesting being on the farm, working hard. Like, is there any stories from when you was working on the farm about hard work and dedication and stuff when you in those early days?
I mean, I remember my I actually didn't like I love my grandfather, obviously, my grandma and everything, but there was times as a young kid where I was like, fuck this, you know. I remember they woke me, like I had to go at early mornings, I have to like pick up stones and put them into a barrel, and just to make sure that the roads were like smooth. Take all the big rocks and like put them on the barrels, and I hated that job, but like I did it for days and weeks, picking up rocks, and that was probably the beginning of, you know, my strongman training, picking up rocks.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. Yeah. So was your grandfather, was he into strongman or anything like that, or was he a big strong man, or?
No, he just a regular guy that worked very hard, very hardworking guy that owned a farm and has worked very hard all his life.
And is that something that runs through your family?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Same goes to my dad and everyone else. You know, very hardworking family.
It's kind of carried on with your mentality as well now. Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, do you know why there's a strong culture of strongman in Iceland in particular?
Do I know why? I think, you know, John Paul Simonson kind of like opened the doors for the other guys. He showed that this is possible. Like, there's always has to be the first guy to make the first record, and then you have the other believers that believe that they can beat that record, and that's how it all starts, you know. And who knows if John Paul never had won the World Strongman competition, maybe Magnus would have never won it, or maybe I never have started doing strongman. Sometimes it has to start somewhere for others to believe, you know, and it's very important to believe in yourself.
Completely, yeah, I completely understand it. Early years playing basketball, obviously you train to be this athlete, and it does get you in this mindset. Like when you're doing, like you've obviously carried it over into the gym. Was there anything that happened in basketball, like a serious injury that put you off, or anything like that, or?
That put me off. I mean, yeah, there was a time in my career where, like, I felt like nothing was going for me, you know, where I was like way down. I didn't feel like I was, as all kids, you want to be successful in your sport and you want to be the best. You want to, like, for me, I always wanted to just, like, I was looking like here, you know, for me, like, the top is the NBA. So for me as a kid, I was like, I want to go there. I want to be the best, you know. But I was unlucky with some injuries along my career in basketball. I injured my my leg a couple of times, and it really had a big impact on my training and my mind for sure. And it actually led me to different things, you know. I actually stopped doing basketball and then slowly went into training, and then that came along and I picked that up, you know.
Yeah, I was speaking to Rune earlier, that was the same thing for me with basketball. I had I dislocated and broke my ankle, and that was it for me. But I was like similar sort of thing, like aiming for the NBA, like
Yeah.
we'll have to play sometime.
Yeah.
Do you still play now? Do you still play basketball, or?
I don't.
You don't?
No. I mean, I sometimes shoot the ball, you know, just if it's there, you know. But I don't really go out there and like play. The reason why is just because I don't want to like risk an injury.
Yeah, it is dangerous. I was about 26 stone when I broke my ankle, and it's just like, obviously you're a bigger guy now as well, like jumping around, high impact sports.
Yeah, being my weight and everything, you know, it's not very smart to me to be jumping around and everything like that, you know.
So yeah, I mean, this is one thing I wanted to touch on very briefly. So Game of Thrones happens. So many people would stop there. Like, I'm at the peak of my success. I'm on an amazing show. All this sort of stuff. So many people would stop there. Why did you carry on going and pushing, especially in strongman? Why would you keep going?
Yeah, I love that question, and I agree with you. I think a lot of people would have stopped. A lot of people would have, like, I got so many opportunities, so many new movie offers, and this and this and this. But something in my head was just like, when I set myself a goal, it's very hard for me to turn around and just do something else. Like, I had this goal in my head that I'm gonna win the World Strongman. So I had that goal and finished. And I knew with too much on my schedule that was never gonna happen. So I had to pick and choose jobs and like decline a lot of things, and which was annoying, but you know, sometimes you have to make hard decisions, and that's life. And you know, I made those decisions, and I was committed. You know, I wanted to become the best in my sport, and I became the best. I won the World Strongman. I won everything that can be won in the strength of strongman. I'm very proud of that, and I don't regret anything. If I wouldn't go back and want to change it any way.
Yeah, I mean, it must be to sacrifice potentially an unbelievable career in Hollywood. You could have like done all these things, and to sacrifice it for strongman, like it must be a real big love of yours. Like, how did that develop, and like, what does strongman mean to you?
It means everything to me. I mean, I'm here today because of that. I would never have got Game of Thrones without strongman. Strongman, opened all those doors for me, and then Game of Thrones came along and everything else. But of course, I have a lot to thank because of Game of Thrones. But the main reason is the passion I had for the sport and like the training. I just love to train, man. That's the pure honest. I like to train. This is the best job ever for me, to be able to come here in my own gym, smashing the weights 4 times a week or more often. For me, it's the best job ever. I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah.
So, training for some is painful. It hurts. They want to avoid the pain. Like, so what is your mindset to that?
Yeah, of course. There's pain along the way, but these are all just feeling up here, It's how are you gonna treat those feelings, What are you gonna do about it? That's the big question, For me, I would do anything possible to recover as fast as possible, so I could even train more often. That's my goal. Because why is that? Because the more you can train, the better you get. If I can train more than that guy, then I most likely on the long term will get much better than him. So I have everything planned out. My diet, my sleep, my recovery, my training. And, I have this plan right now where I train for 2 days, I rest, I train 2 days, I rest. And if my body is feeling fresh, I just keep doing that. But if my body feels beaten up, I take an extra day off. So it's also about listening to your body and knowing when to take a small step back, but also knowing when to step in. Everyone responds different to training. Everyone is different, I might be able to train more than the next guy. I've had many training partners, and a lot of them have got injured because they didn't handle the pressure that I was able to go through. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe something I did out of the gym that they didn't do that was helping me more than them.
When this sport that you're involved in is, like you say, you're training harder than the next guy. There's a guy in the gym,
harder,
yeah,
but also smarter.
Smarter as well. You've got a guy across on the other side of the world training. How do you deal with that mentally in terms of your training? And like you said, like almost like a Michael Jordan mentality. Like, I'm just going to be the hardest worker in the gym. Like, is that your mentality going in?
Definitely, and it just motivates me basically to know of the other guys. It doesn't bother me. If I see someone being successful in his training circle and that doesn't scare me. It just motivates me. It's like, okay, good. He's taking this seriously. That's good. I want that because I want to beat him in his best. I just want to beat someone that is lazy. I want to beat the best. But the thing is, I'm the best, so I'm the man to beat.
To be the best, you got to be the best, man. I love it. When you put in 400 kilos in a bar, 450. The mentality before picking that weight up off the floor, putting that weight above your head. What is going through your mind when you're doing one of these massive lifts?
It's not necessarily what goes through my head at that moment. It's everything I've done before that lift. You know, the years behind. That's, you know, all those, like, you'll see, you guys see, you know, right now I'm early into my training program, but, you know, in the next couple of weeks and until the competition, this is gonna be my life. I'm gonna be obsessed, completely obsessed with everything that concerns getting better. Like, there's nothing that, you know, if someone invites me to a party or a drink out late in the next 16 weeks, do you think I'm gonna go out? No, hell no. There's no fucking way. Like, if someone would ask me, bro, we're going out for a drink, you wanna come? I was like, are you serious? I had no way. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to eat my steak in the morning. You know, I don't even have to think about it in my mind. I'm that dedicated.
You say, I love the word obsession. When people think of what you do, they think you go in a gym and you lift weights, but the obsession does not finish there. The obsession is the eating, the sleeping, everything. Can you tell people what is involved with the obsession? Like, how obsessive you have to be with every small detail?
Yeah, I mean, just how I've been describing every single small details, you know, I'm eating, I know exactly what I'm eating throughout the day, you know, I'm eating 6 meals a day, and, you know, how can I describe that better? That's a good question, you know. I am obsessed, you know. I actually like that word as well, you know. I am obsessed, especially when it comes to season and you know, comes to my success. I'm absolutely obsessed. You know, the result speaks for itself. You know, there's not a convenience that I've been the most dominated strongman probably for so long time. Of course, Hafþór Rúnar was quite dominant for a long time, but like, I had some years where, like, for example, 2018, I didn't lose a competition. And then went into 2019, I started to dominate again. And I actually placed third at the World Series Men this year, but I got injured as well. So it's like, you don't see a guy going back to back winning competition that often. You might see a guy win one show, but seeing a guy winning a show after a show after a show after a show, that's hard. That takes dedication, and that's very hard to do.
Yeah, I see a lot of, it's similar with the bodybuilding as well. Like, they might throw the Arnold so they can do the Olympia, or they might miss a competition here so they could win one competition here. But to do back to back to back and competition after competition, yeah, it is unbelievable.
And you know, there's a lot of guys that have some weaknesses, you know. There's maybe one show that they have these 5-6 events, and they might just fit them very, very well, and they might do quite well. But then they might compete a month later and maybe place third or fourth. I had a very long winning streak where I just kept on winning shows. It's because, you know, I just like, I didn't have a weakness. I just like, everything was on point. I didn't party. I didn't stay out late. I was just unbeatable. And I got beaten, but I believe, I'm not trying to take anything away from the winner, but I got injured. That's a fact. But there was a guy that beat me, and that's just how it is.
So I mean, obviously, like we're talking about the top 3 people in the world. Like that's your competition. Like it is crazy. How would you define success?
That's debatable, you know. That's, you know, people look at success in many different ways, you know. Success is to be healthy. Success is to be a good father, have a good family. You know, it can be in many different ways.
What's your motivation?
My family and my daughter.
So like everything you do, that's up here whilst you're doing it.
For sure, you know, they are the reason why I want to make them proud. And when I'm working hard in the gym, you know, I don't want to let them down, you know. I want to make them proud. I want to, you know, hopefully, you know, I want to, yeah, that's my biggest motivation, is to, you know, when my daughter got born in 2009, my life changed completely. I was partying more of the time, staying out, like you know, young kids do, you know. I wasn't necessarily young. I was 19 at the time, but you know, yeah. But you know, once she got born, I knew I had to do something. Like I want to be there for her. I want to, like, just be successful. I want to make her proud of me, you know.
For sure, man. That's a lot of things for me. Like trying to leave a legacy and like make my name mean something to the next generation.
Yeah, for sure.
In training, you've got a lot of different types of pain. You've got the actual physical pain when you're doing the lifts. You've got the mental pain and then the emotional pain. Like, can you describe them like what's going through emotionally and mentally, as well as like doing this whole career?
Yeah, it's you know, a whole lot of like you have the physical stuff and then the mentality and everything. The whole package, it's crazy. You have to be strong in all those different categories. And I'm a huge believer in you know, accepting the pain. You know, I don't know if like, I do a lot of hot and cold therapy, and for me, staying in the cold tub isn't easy. But I do it because I'm a believer that I believe that it's gonna strengthen my mind. So that's why I do it. I stay in there for 2-3 minutes because I'm thinking like that's gonna make me tougher, and that's gonna make me push harder in tension, and that's also gonna make me recover faster. So all these small things I do, you know, because I believe that it's gonna make me like better as an athlete, as a person, as a father, and everything.
We saw you doing the hot cold therapy. We actually purchased a freezer. So every morning at 5 a.m. we jump in the freezer.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It's hard, like forcing yourself to stay in it. But yeah, even if there's no physical benefits, we feel like this, as long as it's strengthening the mind at the very least, it's 100% worth it.
Definitely.
Could you just speak a little bit on ice bath therapy and like whether people should be doing it or not?
Yeah, sure. Like there are some people say, and there are some, like I've actually seen some people put out there that it doesn't work, and there are some people that believe that it doesn't do anything for you. But you know, then you have some athletes, like very successful athletes that actually are doing it, and they feel the difference. You know, I've done it for a week and done a hardcore changes. You know, I feel like I haven't even trained. Like I feel just like fresh and just keep pushing myself. And then I've done it. Then I've done the same training without hot and cold, and my body is sore as fuck. And I've done this a couple of times. So I've made these. So I basically like figured this out by myself, as well as obviously like heard and known of a lot of other huge athletes done it themselves. So I know it works for me. And I guess, you know, for the people out there, they just have to try and see it for themselves, you know. Because the thing is, you know, after all, even though something works for me, doesn't necessarily mean that it might work for you. You know, we're all different, and that's at least my belief.
For people who was a small group of people who were young men who were probably like quite lost, seeking some sort of direction, and I feel like going to the gym, whether it be bodybuilding or strongman, is good for them. It's great for your mind. It's great to have some sort of discipline.
For sure.
What's the benefits on somebody, the average person going to the gym, in your opinion?
You know, I think going to the gym for anyone is good for the mentality. For example, you know, it's a great way to start the day or end the day, depending on your schedule. You know, it's kind of like a therapy. I feel like sometimes, for at least a lot of people, it is kind of like that for me as well. Going in the gym and smashing the weights, you know, I feel good afterwards, and I'm a believer that it definitely can help a lot of people out, you know.
For me, when I lost my son, that was powerlifting was what the thing I turned to as my therapy. So I just, as much weight as I could, deadlift, not the greatest form or weights, but it was just like I put myself through as much pain as I could, and it helped therapy-wise. What do you think emotional therapy in terms of strongman, powerlifting, all these sort of lifts like for the mind? What do you think is like a therapeutic thing to do?
How I use the training as therapy?
Yeah, how should other people use it as well?
How should other people use it as therapy? I mean, for me, myself, personally, if I'm talking for myself, if I don't train, I can feel the difference. Like I don't function as well, you know. I have to train to just feel better and everything like that. So it's all about just making a routine and making it a habit, you know. And same goes with, you know, the nutrition. It's just like, you know, you wake up, you have a glass of water, you brush your teeth. You make it a habit. And I mean, I guess people prioritize their life difference, and some people might just not be interested in training, and that's fine. Find something else. You might be more interested in something else, and that's fine. Just find your passion and do what you like.
You have, in my opinion, found your purpose. Like this is like what you were destined to do, and it's a purpose. What is the importance of having a purpose in life?
In my opinion, that's very important. You know, you see so many people stuck in the same routine, and they hate it. They hate it. They're not happy in their life. They're not happy with their whatever they're doing. You know, and if you want advice from me, if that's your life right now, go find something else. Just try something else out. You know, if you're miserable in your life, and I've actually been miserable. People can be miserable even though they have everything. You know, you see super successful people in life and you think there's no way they are miserable, but that's not the case, you know. So I'm trying to talk here and direct people, but sometimes it can be hard because even though you are successful and you're doing well, you can still have bad days. Do you feel me?
Yeah, for sure. It's not what you're saying is perfect. You don't have this talk about it, but have you had any like people look at you like that in that way? Like he's never going to have a bad day. He's never going to be sad or anything like that. Like have you had what is the hardest times that you've gone through like whilst being on this career so far?
I have gone through some very difficult times, to be honest with you, and lately in the last 2-3 years I've been going through some very hard times, some very, very hard times, and I haven't been very open about that. Yeah, it's been very tough for me. I had to deal with some difficult things that I couldn't control, and that's life,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the hardest thing about life is when you've got no control over it. Like things happen and then you can't change it.
Yeah.
When like I feel that you have it, it's even harder for you because especially being online, being in the media, you have to. Well, not you don't have to, but it's like expected of you to just be, hey, I'm this guy. I'm what everyone expects. Like, what's it like not being able to open up and being able to talk about that sort of stuff?
It's very hard, and it's difficult. It's like I'm human like everyone else. I have feelings. I go through hardships like everyone else, and yeah, I had to go through some bad stuff. For example, like yeah. Can we shut down the cameras for one minute?
Yeah, man, yeah.
It's hard to.
How did you process that? How do you process hard times?
Staying busy, of course, at the beginning of all hardships, very, very difficult times, you want to just lay down and basically just you want to die, when you go through very, very difficult times, but I took it as strength, and I thought to myself, well, I'm not gonna let this, even though it kind of did, completely ruin my life. And I'm just gonna, I want to be honest about this right now. I actually haven't seen my daughter in 3 years. Like I haven't physically I haven't been able to hug my daughter for 3 years, and that's the hardest thing I've gone through, and it's very hard for me to talk about it.
I completely understand, man.
And the hardest thing is there's nothing I can do. Like, of course, if I could, I would go now and see her. But that's just, sometimes you're put into difficult positions, and that's life. It's very unfair.
Horrible situation, man. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, I don't know the situation at all. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah. There's nothing I've done to deserve this, Yeah. this is hard for me to talk about. This is something that many fathers and moms are going through, and it's not easy.
I appreciate you for like from bottom of your heart open up about that. Like you say, there's going to be other people going through that as well, and some people might be going through something different.
Something different, you know.
Something different, but like if your advice to keep busy, keep going, like that can help a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, for sure, you know, I use my daughter as a strength, you know. I think about her every day, and I want to be successful for her, and I want to I think okay, if I'm constantly in the spotlight doing stuff and being successful, you know, she's gonna see it, and that's what motivates me, you know. She knows who I am, and we speak actually together every Sunday. And that's the highlight of every week, you know, when I have to get the call her, but that's it. I'm doing everything in my power to be able to see her again, and I know one day that's gonna happen.
So when you're saying about your motivation is your family, that's what you mean, like that is
100%, 100%, you know. She is my biggest motivation, you know. She is probably the reason why I won World Strongest Man.
So let's go forward. You've got this year's coming up, that's your motivating factor behind this year. That's perspective on your downstairs is a prediction on the board. Like what's happening this year? What with that motivation? What's happening this year in terms of what are you going to do this year?
So my main goal this year, competition-wise, is to win the Autumn Classic in Columbus, the beginning of March. I'm competing there, and I'm back-to-back champ. So my goal is to win it the third time. And then after that, I have some other plans, but I don't like to go into those details yet. You know, that's my main focus right now is to be as good as possible, so I can win that show the third time.
In terms of in self-belief, like we was talking about this earlier about your belief. What's the importance of people? What's the importance of self-belief and people believing in themselves? Like, what is that importance?
It's huge. You know, the moment you tell yourself that you can't do something, that's the moment when you won't do it. You know, if you tell yourself that you never can become a great chef, then you won't become a good chef. If you tell yourself that you are never gonna be a good athlete, and you probably won't become a great athlete one day. You know, it starts with a belief, and the more you believe and tell yourself and set yourself goals and visualize yourself, you know, holding that trophy or even lifting that big lift, you know. And it starts weeks and weeks and months and years even. It took me 10 years to win the World Strongest Man. 10 years back, I was already in my head thinking about me holding the trophy. Like, I just thinking about these moments, you know. And I'm already now thinking about small details, what's gonna happen at my next competition. Big moments, you know. I'm thinking about what I should say to Arnold Schwarzenegger when he interviews me after I win. These things.
So that's how far the vision goes. Like you can see yourself up on stage speaking to Arnold.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's every detail. So is that how? Do you feel like people when they're creating a self-belief, it has to be that detailed?
Well, for me, I I believe the more detailed you are, the better you can be, you know. And it's obviously great to set yourself goals, and I recommend that to everyone. For example, you know, this is a different goal, but for example, English is my second language, and I have a goal that every single day I try to like learn a new words, and that's a goal I set myself, and you know, it's one of many goals I have.
And so today was that impeccable?
Impeccable.
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 Impeccable. So are you impeccable?
I am indeed. That's yeah.
Right. Let me just go through these. We're pretty good. So what's your greatest achievement in your career so far, in your opinion?
My greatest, I mean, 2018, winning everything, you know, starting the year by winning Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, going from there and winning Eurostrongman, the fourth year that year, and then going from there and winning my Icestrongman title and then the World Strongman title. That year was the highlight of my career, obviously. You know, winning all these shows like doof 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 doof. That's the highlight, you know.
Okay, so I just want to just some quick ones. Have you got a biggest idol?
I do look up to people, yeah, for sure, like everyone else do, you know. Sport-wise, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, he like most of kids, you know, and then before that, you know, Michael Jordan, because I was a big basketball, you know, I played basketball and he was my hero, and then of course Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, you know, and had these guys, you know. And after my basketball career, when I started lifting, Arnold Schwarzenegger came along, and then even Dwayne Johnson, you know, he's love that guy. I think he's super cool, you know.
Speaking like of Dwayne Johnson, like people see him as just an actor or just.
Well, he started his career in WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He was an athlete.
It's just a wrestler, but you followed sort of a similar thing. Like people maybe see you as just a strongman, but you're a businessman as well. Like,
Yep.
really, how do you balance everything?
Good question. It's difficult, man. I just have to like stay on my toe every single day. Like, my business is my phone as well. I'm every single day posting something, you know, and I stay busy. I actually, like, the craziest thing is, like, I post on my channel, on my own. I post on Hafthor Bjornsson on my Instagram channel myself, and I post on Thors Power Gym. Actually, Rúnar sometimes helps me, you know. And then I post on Thors Power Apparel. So many things I have to think about every single day to just like, this is one of my businesses to keep it going, you know, is to keep posting on these social media platforms. And I post myself on my YouTube channel, and I have to think about the caption and the thumbnail, and Rúnar comes there also and helps me, of course, with the thumbnail, you know, and so, you know, I have a good team around me, but you know, I do a lot of things on my own as well.
It's hard. People don't know about it. It's hard work. Like all the social media side of things, terribly hard.
Difficult.
There's a thing coming up soon. New Year's resolution. A lot of people buy into it. Setting a New Year's resolution for the year. Is that something you buy into? What's your advice around starting a new year? I
think it's great. I think it's cool. You know, if you know, it's a great way for people to like set themselves goals. I don't really follow that whole lot because I already have myself plenty of goals.
The new generation have been called snowflakes, millennials, soft. Do you believe that the generation coming up now are softer and weaker minded? If you do, what's your advice for them?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's just different, different. You know, life is changing. You know, with all these technology these days, everything is changing, and kids are just doing different things. You know, but I totally see though what you're saying. You know, I wish there wasn't so much TV necessarily or iPads and everything like that, because kids are just hooked every single day. They're playing some games or on the computer watching TV, and they're just like playing games, you know, Fortnite or like everything's just inside. Like I remember myself as a kid just running around everywhere, going there and there, and knocking on my friend's door and say, "Hey, you wanna come play?" Like I didn't call, I just went there, you know. And so things are changing, but are they lazy? No, this is just how things are progressing, you know. And you know, I wish it would be different, but it's not.
So just some quick fire ones really. Do you have a favourite book?
Favorite book? No, I don't. I wish I would be more of a book reader. But I'm not.
I don't know if you listen to motivational speakers or speakers in general. Do you have a favourite motivational speaker or?
I don't listen a whole lot of those. I do though sometimes. I have in the past, not so much lately, watched motivational videos.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you speak of Arnold, so you
Yeah.
like a lot of his stuff he used to do as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
What is the best bit of advice you would give to your older self? The younger you.
My younger self, I would have told myself to stay in school.
I like that. And have you got a favourite quote?
Favorite quotes? There's no reason to be alive if you can't do deadlift.
I love it. That's
But that's a critical quote, guys. I'm not meaning it like that, you know. It's just because that quote comes from John Paul Sigmarsson, and he's a legend in my eyes and many other people's eyes. And he said that back in the days, and it is a quite meaningful quote to myself. I'm not saying it like that, you know. Oh, there's no reason for you to live because you can't do deadlift. I'm not meaning like that. The quote itself just means something to me because of him.
This time next year, if we was to make a video in a year's time, where would you be in a year's time?
I would be hopefully career-wise. I wanna honestly, like I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been competing for a decade, and I don't know to be honest with you, but I honestly might be going more towards acting, and if that opens more, and I might give that more of a try, definitely. Like I don't know, like I've been competing for quite a long time, and at some point I have to say, okay, this has been great, and now I'm going to do something else. I've been doing acting, yes, but it's been very difficult for me to do those both things at the same time, and been very like dedicated in those both careers. Like I've been focusing a lot more on strongman, and then the acting thing is just like been a side stuff. I wish I could have been more like dedicated in that career. Like no, don't hear me out wrong. Like everything I've done acting-wise, I've taken very seriously. I've done the best I could, but I think I could have done it a bit better, maybe with a bit more practice. Would I have had more time to practice?
Thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you opening up and everything.
No, thank you, man.
I really think it's.